We're here! Hello, hello! Welcome in. Let's see if I've got this right. I gotta figure out where the Fuji is. And if it will do what I want it to. Will, oh, look, there's a bunch of people. Hang on. Oh my goodness, there are people. Hello! I was not expecting a stream today, let alone at this time. Well, yeah, it's a time that works.
You gonna finish drinking that?
Oh yeah, here, I'll take a shot. That's good, that's good.
Yeah,
that's some apple flavored soju. So mad I'm gonna miss this one too, but at least I can show up here for a second to say hi. Hello, hero. What? You're making fun of my little...
What's up, dog?
Oh, like Bugs Bunny.
Yeah.
What's up, Doc? Well, I'm glad you could stop in for a second, Hero Logic. Welcome in, Long and Yuku Jamari. Oh gosh. You haven't listened to my reading stream yet that I did last night?
No, I haven't. I probably won't.
You can listen and laugh and make fun of me for struggling so hard I tried to read like the list of story titles and the authors and the names. It was bad. It was so bad. I read one story all the way through. It was about vampires. And I got partway through and then I kind of saw what was happening and I died laughing. It's so funny. It's so funny. I'm gonna let chat. You can go listen to that. I'll tell you afterwards.
Okay.
Go listen to my last stream. That story was really funny. Just skip like the first 20 minutes of me struggling to try and remember how to read. Trying to read names. My mind did not work. I was trying to get the Fugi to work. Come on, Fugi. Or should I just make a Fugi is a website that uses... Oh, I know why it's not working. Because it works through Discord. And I don't have Discord pulled up. That would help a lot. If I actually pulled up Discord. Because then when you talk in Discord, the Fugi is like a little thing that then makes the little person bounce when you talk. And I forgot the Discord part. Yeah. Anyway, I'll set that up. But in the meantime, I have my dad... And he's gonna tell some stories. Cause he grew up, how long were you in Germany when you were a teen?
Total about 9 years.
You were there like a bit when you were younger and then went back as a teen?
Yeah.
Didn't you get to have your prom in a castle?
Yeah. We had a prom in one of the castles in Germany.
That always sounded really cool.
Yeah.
And then, mostly, I think about how at like 16 you were able to get into the bars, right?
Yeah, maybe a little bit before then.
You look, they let you in. I don't know. You have a bunch of stories. Is there anything you want to start with?
I don't know. There's a bunch.
Tell the one with you. You're asked to come to the front of the class for a math problem.
Ooh, wow, that's starting off pretty good. Yeah, that is,
You can
okay.
explain.
There's a little backstory.
Yeah, kind of lay out like how you're able, like how the school was set up, where things were at, where you're able to go for lunchtime.
Yeah. So this is in high school.
Oh wait, it's on you.
Okay.
Or you can be Minna.
Am I Minna now?
Yeah, look.
I don't want to be Minna.
I'll be Minna. All right, can you carry on?
Okay, so there was this little program at school in high school when we was in Germany that if we were good little students, we would get an extended lunch on Fridays. And since it was an open campus, we would leave. And we'd go up to some of the little local restaurants, they're called guest houses, and have lunch and a beer or two. And in German beer, it only takes a couple. And so me and my friends would come back well lit, so to speak.
Well lubricated.
Yeah, well lubricated. And so we went to this one particular time. I had a math class after lunch, and I was feeling quite good, and it was a higher math, so there were a lot of symbols and not so many numbers anymore. And I got called on to go up to the board to work a problem on the chalkboard. And I looked at it, and when I was looking at it, all the symbols had started to kind of just animate and move around on the board, and I'm like, oh, shiitake mushrooms.
You can say it.
I was like, yeah, this is not going to happen, because the teacher would smell it when I walked up. So I looked at her, and she's like, come to the board and do the problem. I looked at her, and then I just picked up my books and everything, and I just walked out of the class. And she didn't know what to do. I just walked out.
You stunned. It was very effective.
Yeah. I'd forgot about it until I'd forgot about that happening until I was flipping through yearbook years later, and I seen one of the girls that I knew commented on it. She says, "That was so funny. I'll never forget when you walked out of math class." And I said, "You have no idea." Oh, I was feeling very good.
Not good enough for math, though.
What is this?
This is the chat. I know, I'm still working on it. I'm trying to get Discord.
Oh.
I just figured my Discord isn't way to pull up for me.
Oh, so that's just a disembodied voice they're hearing?
Yeah, at the moment. You could be Minna if you want.
No, I'm not that transgender shit.
And it's still, but
it's gonna be dangerous. The soju bottle's almost empty.
Well, didn't it start like half full? It's just a little bottle.
No, it was just almost all the way full. Just one drink out of it. That's the drink we had last night.
Where did it all go?
Ooh, your sister.
This is off to a great start.
Is that good, Minna?
It is, yeah. Though I do enjoy I've got ancient mushroom elixir, root beer. It's kombucha.
Yeah. So what's the proof on that? 0. We're running about, I don't know, 25, 30 proof on this. I don't think
this has a proof because, like,
it's not alcoholic.
Yeah, it's not alcoholic. Like, there's like a tiny bit of alcohol from the fermentation, I'm sure. Oh, that was good.
Yeah, you can work on it a little bit.
Yeah, I'll never be able to live up. I can't burp on command very well. It's pathetic. Yeah, it's always like that. Anyway, trying to get sort of a Discord. You finished off the bottle?
Yep, the bottle's already done.
Darn, I wanted more. Let's see.
Just send your brother to the store for more. Wow.
Was that good or bad?
Your entire image is going to be ruined, Minna, with this one though.
Well, I can just delete the VOD. But anyway, let's see. I'm trying to fix the Discord. It also blows my mind that there was student smoking lounges back in your day.
Oh yeah. We had like our own student smoking area. So that was normal and cool. So you like run and have lunch, and then run out to the smoking area and have a smoke after lunch before you went back to class. So that was nice.
When did you quit smoking?
When your oldest brother was 1 or 2 years old, I quit. So I didn't smoke very long. I don't know, about 4 or 5 years, 6-ish, something like that.
More than me, thankfully. What? 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 That means that I've never smoked. Stop giving me that look.
Oh. So is anything happening on this?
See, there's people.
Yeah?
I'm just still trying to get Discord to work for me.
Is it not working?
I don't know. My strategy is usually to push buttons until it works.
Yeah, that's a good strategy.
Let's see.
Isn't that the definition of scuff?
Yeah. Scuff is soul. That's what they say. Keeps it real.
No, it just shows that you're incompetent.
Well, what other stories do you have? What of your drinking escapades would you like to share?
Yikes.
Can't say most of them.
So like, yeah, you can't. You can't give full details in front of your daughters. Come on. Yikes, man.
I'm just trying to think of, I don't know, funny
Some of them
things
get
that
pretty
you...
bad. Some of them get pretty bad. And this is all as like a high school student.
And you were busy in high school.
Yeah.
Had a lot of classes and different things.
Yeah. You know, trying to maintain, you know, a lot of classes and, you know, like advanced classes and then other stuff. So it wasn't it wasn't easy. It was a lot of fun though. The school part wasn't, but everything else was. Yeah, going down for a smoke after lunch or in between classes if they were close enough. And yeah, having a beer at lunch on occasion and coming back. And then seeing like the underclassmen, you know, go and do too much and get sick in the bathroom. Like, oh, there was one guy, oh my goodness. After lunch, went to the bathroom, and there he was. He had drank way too much. It was like Jägermeister or something he was drinking. And, you know, so he was all covered in vomit and stuff in the bathroom going, oh, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm like, dude, I'll see you. I'm leaving. You're on your own.
Oh, man. Would you get in trouble if you were caught drinking?
Oh, yeah. If you were caught.
Did you ever get caught?
No. No, see, that was the thing. If you just get just enough to kind of get a nice cool buzz going and not act out crazy and stayed in the back of the class, you could sail through. You know, the last half of Friday was always nice.
Get those long lunches.
Yeah, you always get the long lunch on Friday, and you just like cruise through your last classes.
Yeah.
Mine were higher math, chemistries, and something else. But usually I sit in the back so I could just kind of cruise through it.
Yeah. Just be there.
Yeah.
It would help if I could
Have you
figure
even
out.
got it working yet?
No. Let me try.
It was just a disembodied voice that
Yeah,
they're hearing?
yeah.
That's no good.
I'm working on it. Let's try. Okay, there's that. I haven't tried. Let's see. What other? You used to tell a bunch of stories of like times you'd get hurt and how your parents would clean. Like you busted your knee on something.
Oh yeah. When I was little. Yeah. So we were. Gosh, what was I in? I guess I remember this from 3rd grade. Yeah, I was in 3rd grade. 3rd or 4th grade. Let me see. I'm trying to remember where we were. So if it was there. Yeah, probably 4th grade then. And we were running out. Me and my brother were running around playing on the playground. And this is when all the playground equipment was heavy metal. And so it'd been raining a little bit, and we raced to the merry-go-round. And, you know, I won, but I slid across the merry-go-round because it was wet and it was metal. And I hit the center and tore my knee open. I mean, bad. And so, you know, we limped home and went to the dispensary, which is kind of like the emergency room now, but since it was on a military base, it was a little bit different. And, you know, I got stitches in my knee. They sewed it up. Went home. Everything's cool. And 3 or 4 days in the house, limping around, not allowed to bend your knee. And then I was finally allowed to go outside. You know, and for a 4th grader, shit, not being allowed to go outside is like punishment. Finally allowed to go outside, but not allowed to run. You cannot run. So, and the playground was across the field and across the street to get to the playground in the housing area at the army base that we were at. And my friend David, that's funny, I remember his name. We were running around just acting a fool and, you know, just running.
Both of you?
I mean, yeah, I mean, I don't know, 5 or 6 of us just running from one part of the playground to another.
The one thing you're not supposed to do.
Yeah, so we're all running. And then he trips me because that's what boys do. They push each other, trip each other, you know. And he tripped me and it busted my knee wide open.
No.
Oh. I mean, so the stitches came out and it ripped even further open.
No.
And limped home, you know, blood flowing everywhere. And went back to the dispensary and they go, oh, wow. So there's been like budget cuts or something, or I don't know. They don't know how to restock.
Oh, no. I think I remember this.
And so, you know, the doctors there look at it, the military doctors look at it and they go, ooh, yeah. So we got to cut away, take out all the other stitches and cut away, you know, kind of the dead tissue that was supposed to just scar up. And we need to cut that all away and then re-stitch it up even bigger.
Oh.
And there's like, my mom and dad were like, well, okay. And they go, but the problem is there's no more Novocaine or painkillers for this. You know, I'm only like in 4th grade, so this means nothing to me. And so I ended up laying on the table, holding my mom's hand as tight as I could, because with no painkillers, they were cutting all this away and stitching my knee up.
Ow, that's awful.
Oh.
Oh my gosh.
It
I can't
It left a
imagine.
really, really cool scar, though.
The only scar I have on my knee is from when I was trying to ride a bicycle and eat a quesadilla at the same time, and I fell and hit my hit my knee on a rock just right. Got a little scar there.
I mean, so there's lots of bloodletting stories.
Scrubbing stuff out.
Yeah. So yeah, there's a time that, you know, young boy injuries. So there was a spot. Where were we at that time? Somewhere in Germany again. And there was an area that was kind of undeveloped that kids would ride down, and you know, it's just a bunch of dirt hills and stuff. So we'd take our bikes down there and just, you know, jump our bikes. And these are all like homemade, you know, not special bikes back then. They were just bikes you buy at the store.
Mm-hmm.
And you're going as fast as you can and jumping as high as you can, and fast as you can, as high as you can. And I jumped one time, and when I landed, the bike actually kind of broke in half. Then I ended up hitting the gravel and all, you know, all the dirt and rocks underneath there, and I embedded some in my elbow.
Ow.
You know, so it's a long walk home with a broken bike. You know, my knees are all kind of scored up, but the worst part is in the elbow. Like, I guess that took the main impact. And that's back when they didn't have, well, they had peroxide, but the big thing for cleaning wounds out was methylate. And wow, that stuff burned like fire. And so I get home and I'm like, oh, Mom, scrape my elbow and stuff like that. And there was still gravel and rocks embedded like in the flesh.
Ow.
And so she started scrubbing with the methylate, like with a brush, to get everything out. Like, I was almost crying from the pain of her cleaning it more than I did from actually getting hurt. And then she put the methylate all over it. It's like, you'd blow on it, but it wouldn't do any good. It just burned so bad. So she's in there picking out rocks out of my elbow.
I think you cleaned my knee one time when I had the dog, and the house in the neighborhood had a pretty steep hill on the driveway.
Yeah.
And I had the dog on one of those extendable leashes.
Mm-hmm.
And so the dog was going forward. I was looking behind me. I think Mom was saying something. And it hit the end of the leash and like dragged me down the hill a second on the
driveway?
pavement. Yeah. I forget how banged up I got then. But there was like my knee got pretty scraped with like a little bit of gravel or something. I think you cleaned that out. Usually when I got an injury, you would tell me stories of your injuries to make me feel better because they were worse.
Oh, I remember that. You did that to me too.
It's a great tactic. Like, I got my fingers pinched in a door hinge one time. And then
that's nothing.
And then you told me, okay, tell the story about when
yeah, I was I guess it was in Florida before we moved up here.
No, this was this story happened in Florida.
Yeah, the injury happened in Florida. I was working on I was rebuilding a swing gear.
Here, you'll just be a stagnant picture because I can't get the Poogie to work.
I'm stagnant now.
I guess.
I'm old and stagnant. Is that what you're saying?
I'm just saying this picture won't move.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying.
I have a halo though. So
Yeah, I
I'm
know.
extra
Isn't
cool.
Yeah, right. See, I got the cool picture.
Ow! Oh no!
You wanna see? What? Ta-da! See, isn't that cool?
I hurt myself.
How'd you do that?
I stretched back and then I came back and it felt like everything was compressing on each other.
Ouch. All right, but you were at work.
Yeah. So I was in the rebuild room, rebuilding a swing drive off an excavator, and I made a very, very poor life choice. In the press, I was pressing out the main drive gear shaft to replace the seal, and I think I ran out of stroke on the press. There's a hydraulic press, so I had to lower the table, and it's such a pain to take everything off the table, set it to the side, then lower the table and put it back on. And for some reason, my brain glitched, and I go, well, I can just hold this while I move the pins to lower the table. Well, that does not work. And I pulled the first pin out, and so the whole table fell, but it fell at an angle, and it rammed my hand up into a pinch point, and it ripped out my fingernails on 2 fingers. It broke one finger and ripped the fingernails out of the other, to where it just tore them out of the back and laid them back on top of the fingers. And it was a bloody mess. Oh.
Did you have to drive yourself?
Well, the service manager, I went up, I seen it and I was like, whoa, that's sick to my stomach. And so I walked up to the main shop and I told hollered at the service manager. I said, hey, so you had to get someone to take me to the urgent care, get my fingers fixed. And he says, what, drive yourself? And I go, no, because I had my service truck was a manual.
Shift.
Yeah, it was a 6-speed. And he says, drive yourself. And I'm going, I can't even shift, as my right hand was busted. I wouldn't be able to shift gears to drive to the emergency room, broken fingers and bleeding everywhere. And he says, let me see. He wanted to see if it's bad enough. And so I showed him, and he was like, whoa. So he called someone to drive me over there. And so he took me over there, dropped me off. And the nurses were soaking it in something, I guess, to clean it after they x-rayed it. And one of them made the comment, she says, oh my God. Because they were mangled bad. And so they gave me a couple of shots, and then they started working on it. They cut the fingernails off, what was remaining of them. They cut the fingernails off, and they started stitching up the nail bed. So they had to sew the end of my fingers back on.
Oh, yeah.
And I started to kind of come to during that, and the pain medication or whatever they shot in my fingers was wearing off, so I could feel them,
Come to as in like your fingers coming to.
Yeah, I could start to feel everything, and so the stitches, where I could feel them being pulled through where my fingernails used to be at the end of my fingers. And it hurt so bad. So I guess I flinched. And, the doctor looked over and he says, can you feel it? And I said, well, yes, I can feel that. He says, I don't want to put another shot in you.
So, you're a redhead.
So, huh?
You're a redhead.
Yeah.
Kinda.
Forgot about that.
I always have been.
Because, there's no more anesthesia.
Oh, yeah.
Apparently.
I guess.
I mean, your hair looks brown, but there's a bit of red in your beard.
Used to be.
Yeah,
but yeah, he didn't want to put another shot in, so he says, only got a few more stitches to finish this up. Do you think you can stand it? I'm like, are you kidding me?
Wouldn't be the first time.
Yeah. So I was like, man. And it's just real weird to feel them pulling that fluid, like tightening your finger back on.
It's funny, I can't...
I wish I'd have been drunk then.
I didn't get any numbing shots after the first birth for the stitches. I can't remember what it felt like.
I remember your face was all scrunched up.
I know, I made some weird faces.
Oh wait, one time that we almost got blew up.
Yeah, that was... that'd be kind of hard to explain the way that everything involved in that.
Nord Clip says, this reminds me of my dad. At least half a dozen catastrophic injury stories.
Yeah, depending on your job, they can get ugly. I guess. Yeah, I came completely unscathed from the explosion, but it could have been very ugly for me and the other guy.
It was a mine thing, right?
Well, we're working on a very, very large excavator, and we were trying to take apart the recoil spring. And recoil springs are usually preloaded. They're a spring that's been kind of squunched up, so it's preloaded. It's squeezed down a little bit to about, this one was probably about 65 tons of preload on it. It'll take 65 tons to squeeze the spring back. And we're supposed to be taking it apart, and it wasn't coming apart. And so, we told the boss, hey, we just need to replace this. Disable it, throw it away, and the customer can buy a new one. And he insisted that, we just put a little bit of heat to it, we can take it apart. So we put heat to it and it didn't come apart. Went and told him again, and he got kind of pissed off about it. And he says, you guys aren't trying hard enough. So I was like, okay, here we go. And me and the other guy, we put the heat to it, and we started feeding the grease to it at a higher pressure to try to get it to come apart, and hitting it with a hammer at the same time.
Oh my gosh.
And we had the excavator pulling on it.
Oh my goodness.
And then was hitting it with a sledgehammer and I hit it one time and it moved just a tiny bit. And I looked at the other guy and I said, all right. And I hit it the next time, and then there's this humongously loud noise and everything turned white.
Oh my God.
And that's when all the grease inside the chamber vaporized and exploded.
Oh my goodness.
Oh man, I was my hearing came back, and I looked around. I looked at the other guy, and he was white as a bed sheet, and in reality, we probably shouldn't be alive, but we are. Because when those things come apart and they don't explode, they've been known to kill people. So that was an ugly mistake on my part.
How did where did the spring go?
I think it's fortunate that the spring actually didn't get released.
Oh.
It blew out all the seals around the cylinder.
Okay.
One of the guys there actually wanted a small, little tiny spring come apart, and when it did, years later, he was working on a little one, and it broke, and it disemboweled him when it came apart, like in the blink of an eye. It come across the front of him, and it just, tore his stomach open, and all his intestines or stuff were laying on top of him. He lived.
Wow.
They got him to the emergency room. We were close to a major hospital, so they got him to the emergency room fast enough that he shit in a bag for about 3 years until they finally got his insides put back together enough for him to live without a
colonoscopy
bag.
Oh my gosh.
One of the little bags that hang on the outside of your body. Yeah, it was bad for him.
Ooh.
So this sort of stuff happens in a blink of an eye.
Yeah, I remember watching the Shake Hands with Danger video.
That was a safety video from the 70s or something that we had to watch. Shake Hands with Danger.
I think Sena watched it one time on stream back at the beginning. And then, oh man, there's this hilarious one about forklift safety that just gets absurd.
Yeah.
Let's see. Hail Minna, hail Popsicle. Man, Greg here now. This is Greg. He talks in the third person.
Okay.
The downside of trade jobs, a modest chance of being disemboweled.
And other things, yeah.
This kind of goes into, did we talk about it? I forget if we were talking about it in the kitchen or last stream of men tend to take the dangerous jobs.
Men take the dangerous jobs?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
Let's see. But yeah, I guess when the boss kept being like, no, do this.
Yeah, I was really young, so I was like, I had a chip on my shoulder, like, okay, you want to see it? I'll show you, damn it.
Mm-hmm.
And nowadays, years later, I look back and I said, I think about it, and that was a stupid decision on my part.
Yeah. Keep pushing it.
Nowadays, I would just get fired. I thought, well, you'll just have to fire me because I'm not going to die because you're dumb.
Yeah. And you're not the one here doing it.
Yeah. Or, really, the customer can just buy a new one. That one's beyond. And the customer ended up buying a new one anyway. Because it was seized up from corrosion from salt water so bad, it was not gonna move.
Yeah.
Looking back, that was stupid on my part, but I was young and didn't give a shit. I'm like, okay, I'll show you. Now though, it'd be like, well, you'll just have to fire me because I'm not gonna die for your stupidity.
Yeah.
I can go pull a wrench somewhere else.
Yeah.
Other gory stories.
Did we exhaust all the? I think most of the time when you've talked about, because you've never like talked about the drunken escapades, but you've just talked about like trying to come home and act like trying to walk to the bedroom and.
Oh yeah, trying to fool my parents that I'm not drunk. Yeah, so that's from going to bars when you're in high school in Germany. You get home and you live in government housing, so it's an apartment. They're just basically a long hallway, and so I'd psych myself up as I get ready to come in the front door to just kind of look over at them and nod at them and try to walk as straight as I can, straight down the hallway to my room so I can just lay down and go to sleep.
Well, you said sometimes you'd have to like set your feet on the floor so you wouldn't throw up.
Oh yeah. When you lay down, if you've been drinking too much, the room starts to spin. So it's like, a strategy. You put your foot on the floor to kind of stabilize the room so you can go to sleep without having to throw up.
Listen, because you'd have to like go down to the bus and then like go to the halfway house or.
Oh yeah. So we take there were shuttles between different bases. We were at I think the last time we were there when I was in high school, we were at a larger military base. So housing areas were kind of spread out, and the different military bases were kind of spread out. And they had a military shuttle bus that would run between all of them. And if we decided to go downtown, which was, in the old town where all the bars were. We'd take a couple of military buses out and get to the hospital. And from the hospital, we could walk and catch a streetcar down to downtown, to the main street where all the bars were. So then you have to try to take those back and remember which way you came, or save money for a taxi.
Would you try and speak German when you went to the bars?
Oh, easy enough, yeah. Because when I was over there, I could speak conversationally. I mean, I can't now, but I could speak conversationally enough to get by and understand.
Mm-hmm.
There's one bar we went to, and usually they didn't mess with us. They didn't really card or check IDs if you looked old enough. But we went to one that we normally didn't go to, a little higher up the main street, the Hauptstrasse. And I walked in, and some of my friends were behind me, and they stopped them, was like, hey, what's going on? But I looked German. I dressed normally, kind of what all the German kids dress like. So I kind of dressed like that, and I looked German enough that I just walked in, and it was no thing. But all my friends were all seriously American looking, and they got held up.
Did they make it in, or? Yeah,
they got in. I mean, they had to talk and kind of, but yeah, we all made it in. And I think in that case, we hadn't been there before, and we didn't know how expensive it was. So we had a couple of drinks, and they said what it was, and it was like, holy crap. I was like, we didn't have enough money for that. We're used to the, other bars further down the road. And it was like, yikes, we don't have money for this. That's stupid expensive. It's like they're overcharging us. So we started to contemplate our escape. I was like, oh shit, what are we going to do?
Because you didn't have enough money?
Yeah, because we didn't have enough money to pay for the drinks. And we ended up looking and waiting, and then a big crowd started to come through the door, a bunch of rowdy people.
And
we bolted. Yeah, we just bolted. We bolted through the crowd as they were coming in. We kind of went
you're
out.
Like, you're never coming back to that bar anyway.
Yeah, we weren't going to go back there anyway. And we ran like hell down to the other end and dived in another bar.
Oh, man. Terrible teenagers.
Yeah. So here I'm letting my daughters know what a bad dad I was, or bad kid. They're going, okay, so Dad has no excuses to admonish us now.
No, I think you did it so that we don't have to. You can tell us how bad of an idea it is because you did it.
Yeah. Learn from my mistakes, right?
I told you about the one time it was like a little, it was like the little cooking club. That month there was just like a handful of people, and like each month we'd come up with a different like category of dishes to make.
Forklift certified? Yeah.
You're forklift certified?
Oh yeah. Got a license and everything.
That means you're a cool guy.
Okay. I think it's expired though.
Yeah. What was I gonna say?
You were cooking.
Yeah, well, there's like a little cooking club, and a lot of times it's the same people, sometimes new people come in. So there's this one really small get-together. It's only maybe like 3 or 4 of us. And there's this one lady that, I think that was the only time I had met her. And it was like she couldn't comprehend my existence. Because I talked about growing up, I didn't sneak off, I didn't try and go drink. I had fun doing sleepovers and playing apples to apples all through my teen years. Like, I felt perfectly fine. I didn't feel wronged or like I was missing out.
No, you don't. Not really.
Yeah. But
Hugging the toilet and throwing up at night? No,
I know, yeah.
You're not missing anything.
Yeah, but she didn't get it. She didn't get it. And she kept being like, oh, I should take you out to the club or the bar or something. Like, she didn't get that I was perfectly happy and am perfectly happy not doing any of that stuff.
Later hosen. Yeah, I never wore those.
I don't have the opportunity to. I've done a little.
I can't remember how to say the
With Mom.
No. Yeah, with Mom letting you bar hop and stuff in Korea. Okay.
You didn't bar hop though.
I mean, I did go to this one store.
You didn't go bar hopping though.
I thought about it. I didn't have any bars.
We went into the chicken place.
I wonder if I could get away with it. I should have looked more into the drinking.
No. Nowadays you can't. Nowadays there's way too much connection to everything.
Yeah.
You can't get away with stuff like that anymore. Anyway, yeah, the one lady, it was baffling for both of us. I was just like, no, I was perfectly happy. I didn't want to sneak out or go drinking. I didn't miss out on anything. I didn't want that. Even now, I'm like, if I want to dance, I want to go to like whenever downtowns do their little, block parties, and there's some music. Like there was the Fiddling Fest recently, and as a teen, I'd go to the Fiddling Fest, and I just want to dance. But it would be kind of awkward because it would just be me dancing, and no one would come dance with me, so I'd find kids to dance with.
Now you have your own, right?
Exactly, yeah. So I would always, like, if there's, like, some kids dancing around, I'd kind of dance with them, and the parents would be like, oh, that's so nice, and I'm like, oh, yeah, no problem, but really I'm like, this is my using the kids so that I don't feel as awkward dancing by myself. But yeah, now, of course, I have my kids. We went to the Fiddling Fest, last weekend?
Yeah.
And yeah, me and, especially kiddo, he just wanted to run the whole time and dance. So we just danced and danced and danced. So now I have my kids to dance with. So now I can always be dancing. So that was fun. They're very cute dancing. I just had to keep reminding kiddo not to look forward, look where he's going so he doesn't knock into other kids. They did pretty good though. It was so hard getting him away. He did not want to leave. The music was good. Let's see. What are the good stories? Are there any stories from Germany you haven't told yet? From that I haven't heard?
Oh, I don't know. Probably.
Let's see.
Ones that I shouldn't tell.
Actually, outside of drinking stories, I don't know, cool school trips or... I mean, you talking about it, it's like you did school and you'd maybe there wasn't much to do, play board games, sneak out.
Well, I never had to sneak out. I mean, I would just tell Mom and Dad where I was going.
But we
would never tell we were going downtown. We'd make something up, So, okay, so there's a little bit of lying involved.
That's still kind of sneaking out.
mean, really, it's just school, and then if we had money, we would go downtown. If we didn't have money, we'd just walk to the next village over and just sit at a restaurant, have a beer, and then walk back. Most of the time, it was uneventful. The ones that involved police were not something you want to talk about.
Wait, what?
You were going to say? What?
I guess we can leave that off stream. Oh wait, no, I know those stories you're talking about now. But no, I was gonna say, one time you described the car trip where you had eggs and orange juice before you left, and it was cold.
Why would you want to bring that up? That's
because
awful.
It's hilarious. It's hilarious, especially as a kid. Especially, I thought it was hilarious. It was deviously ingenious. You gotta tell it.
I can't even remember that.
What I remember is you planned out brewing something in your back bowels.
Yeah.
So that on a car trip where it was really cold outside, you'd let it out.
Gosh, we were going somewhere, and it was Germany would get brutal cold. And I knew certain foods and stuff would make me bad gassy. And bacon and orange juice and something else would do it bad. And it's so cold you don't want to roll down the windows because it's it just freezes the car out. We had to drive a long way somewhere, so I purposely ate this just so during the car trip I could make a life and torture people in the car.
How old were you?
Oh, I don't know, probably 12 or 13. I mean,
Sounds
perfect
like
age for it.
Oh man.
Oh, that was awful. And they're so mad at me.
Were you just smiling?
Oh yeah, it was hilarious. I got so much
Did you get
trouble.
into what kind of trouble did you get into?
I didn't get beat that time, but we get yelled at a good bit.
That's the other thing I can't comprehend about your childhood, because you guys raised us much differently than the sort of corporal punishment you had.
Oh yeah. That was a normal thing. It would be like, at least Dad would give us the choice. Do you want the belt or the hand? And I would choose the hand whenever I choose the belt whenever I could, because he hit a little less hard with the belt than he did with his hand.
And it happened enough that you knew the difference.
Yeah.
Man, it blew my mind the other day. We were talking about kids in the airport, and there's plenty of times as even like a young kid, you'd have to be in the airport and you couldn't do anything but sit still. Otherwise, we would go, since he was in the Army, we traveled a lot, changing duty stations, and we went overseas a good bit, and that meant then long time waiting for the next, waiting to board and stuff like that, and we'd be in a waiting area, and they weren't comfortable then. This is when there were still smoking areas on the plane. So like you're flying on the plane, you sit in the back of the plane if you're going to smoke. And we were little too. And we'd sit in them hard plastic seats, and we weren't allowed to, get up and walk around or move or do anything to be disruptive or draw attention to ourselves. And we'd get in, bad trouble if we did. Even like take to the bathroom and be spanked. So you just learn to just sit there because the pain's not worth it. I can't imagine. I couldn't imagine doing that.
I mean, that's the way it was. I couldn't, I didn't know any other way.
Yeah.
You sit still or you get spanked. I mean, so.
It makes me sad.
But as a little boy, you're got tons of energy. You need to move, but it has to be restrained. So you're just sitting there
for hours.
Oh yeah, it'd be an hour or two just waiting on next plane or what have you.
It makes me so sad. I can't comprehend doing that as a parent.
I didn't think it hurt my parents' feelings any. They didn't care.
The model doesn't properly capture it. It's so sad.
So
I'm glad you don't parent the way your parents did. I'll say that.
Well, that's thanks to your mom. She stopped that stuff pretty quick.
Mm-hmm.
I knows how to beat all of you.
I think she she started it, and then you saw that it works a lot better to build a relationship than, because the problem with that kinds of punishments is they only last as long as you can enforce them or the kid cares.
Yeah. Your mom's very insightful like that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, thankfully I had the good sense to listen.
Yeah.
Because she's smart and she's always right, so you know, I learned that. I just went with it.
Yeah. Let's see, any other good stories?
I don't know what's good about drunken stories.
Well, we don't have to. The drunken story thing is more of a clickbait, if I'm being honest. There was like a little bit.
Okay.
Like there, but not completely. There were some like
a bait and switch. Okay.
You know, I gotta do the VTuber grind, YouTube grind.
They have been bamboozled.
The other stories are good too, though. Let's see. Stories from Germany, because you live Germany, Florida, Virginia.
Yeah.
Let's see. Spent my teen years playing video games and reading comics. Never drank or went to parties. I felt perfectly happy with that.
Yeah, that's probably better. I mean, you know, looking back, it's like, we went out, but that was the thing to do. So
yeah, there's more things to do, I guess, nowadays, especially from home.
Well, there's a lot of stuff to, you know, when I look backwards, I can go, well, there's a lot of other stuff I could have been doing.
Yeah.
But without, you know, parental guidance and, you know, directing, we went the way we wanted to go. And, you know, it wasn't necessarily, you know, good directions that I chose. It could have been a lot worse. I mean, it didn't turn out horrible, but it could have been much better.
Yeah.
It wasn't all the time. I mean, otherwise we just hang out, and if we didn't have any money, we just hang out and play games. Play a lot of board games, hacky sack.
Yeah.
Not much into sports or anything.
Wasn't there one time you guys were throwing mud balls and one of you, like between you and your brother, and one of them had a rock in it?
Oh, yeah. That's when we lived in, we were back in the States, and there was a large kind of vacant lot, overgrown lot near the house that we had to rent. And we'd go out there and play, you know, all the kids would go out there and play, and we'd built a little fort, and we had to throw, you know, you had to destroy the other guy's fort. I mean, that's the whole purpose of going and building the fort, so you can blow up someone else's. And we were throwing stuff back and forth to break up the fort, and my brother threw it's just supposed to be dirt clods. And he missed. He was trying to knock something out of my hand, and instead he hit me in the face with a rock. And he busted my nose and made my eyes swell shut. And there's a solid like path of blood all the way to the house from the woods up to the house. And then the cool thing was, you know, when I woke up the next day, you know, I didn't have to go to school because my eye was swollen shut and I couldn't breathe. So I got like a free day out of school.
It's like a vacation.
Yeah.
Kids can't really go off into places like do that much anymore.
Well, that's one of the
I think
things
people
that
would call the police.
Motivated your mom, I think, a little bit. I mean, there's other reasons, but she wanted to get out of the neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys have room to go and do things.
Yeah.
That's, you know, one of the minor motivations, I guess, to getting the farm was to give you guys more room instead, so you weren't confined to the.
You know, I've been like watching, because there's different places around our still kind of small town that are developing where you see all these big neighborhoods. And I look at them and I have the same feeling as thinking about like, you've heard people talk about like the, you know, live in the capsule, eat the bugs kind of sentiment.
Yeah.
Looking at the neighborhoods, I kind of feel a little bit the same way.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely having the land, especially for all the small kids that are around.
Well, when I was young, I mean, even though we lived on, you know, army bases and stuff, there were still so many open spaces and you could roam so much. You know, we weren't always getting, you know, we didn't get in a lot of trouble, just a little bit. But I guess because the environment then, you know, on the Army bases and some of the neighborhoods we were in was a bit safer than it is now.
Yeah.
I mean, the time we were back in the States, in the same place we were living when my brother hit me in the face with a rock, we would go meet up with some other neighborhood kids, and they had extra BB guns, and we'd go to another place that had a lot more woods and a creek, and then we'd shoot at each other with the BB guns. We'd like split up into teams. It'd be like war in the woods with BB guns. Of course, you know, we had rules. You could only pump it up so many times, and you could only shoot it in the body. You're not supposed to shoot at the head.
Yeah.
You know, that went out the window pretty quick.
We had the airsoft guns. The one time when youngest brother, he was pretty young, like 6 or 7, maybe younger. And I think I got shot with the airsoft, you know, thing. So I was down. I was whatever on the ground, like I was hit. And then he comes up and like right in front of me, shoots me several times in the face. And I was like, that was not fun. That was not fun at all. I definitely cried because that hurt.
Was that Rocky?
No. Youngest one, Bean. Rocky's the second one.
Okay. Yeah.
And I mean, he was pretty young, but.
Well, I mean, that's one I was thinking of.
Yeah.
The youngest.
Yeah.
Yeah, so okay, that's normal for him.
Yeah, he just comes up and shoots me several times in the face. That hurt. I think I was probably 14 by that time. I think it was around that point, because before that, I, you know, want to sort of do what the boys were doing, tomboyish. Well, we used to fight with the sticks. We'd always find sticks to sword fight with.
Yeah.
And I hit a point where I was like, well, Mom kind of stopped it after I almost got my eye poked out. Yeah. So she was like, all right, enough of that. Then we switched the barfer, like the foam weapons.
Yeah.
Barfer LARPing or whatever. So we'd fight that way, but then...
It just get all the harder.
Well, then we were getting older. We were kind of getting more into our teens. And I felt like I kept getting hit in the face. And I was like, my face is too pretty to be hit on in this way all the time.
Says you.
So is my husband.
Of course.
We paid him.
No, you didn't. It's fake news. But no, it was around that time as I probably hit 14 or so and different things like that. I'm like, all right, I'm done. I don't want to play these games anymore. I'm done with it. And two, because Rocky, he probably studied sword. You know, he wouldn't just kind of hit and play. He would go for it. He would go for it. He'd study, you know, techniques and stuff, and he would go full force. And I was just like, nope, I'm done. I'm not even gonna try. This is too much. I'm gonna start just enjoying my dresses and dreaming about babies now.
Dreaming about babies at 14.
Well, no, probably I was focusing on writing then, but you know, shifting towards being like, all right, I don't feel like trying to keep up. I don't need to prove a point of keeping up with the boys because I'm not a boy, so I'm just gonna enjoy being a girl. But 14. I was 14. 10 was when I could finally read. 12 was when I started that first kind of novel that I actually got a bit of ways into, and then 14 was when I ditched that one and started the other novel and was like, all right, I'm gonna try and seriously write now.
Yeah. And you're still working on that.
I'm trying to remember how to get back into it. I spent my teen years building the skills, and then the past several years on the back burner, and now I'm trying to remember how to do it again. Well, the problem is the stories I want to work on right now, I need to rework and plot.
Yeah.
And then the fun is when you're actually putting, you know, the words down, more or less. But I gotta rethink things because I reread my one story and now I don't like it. These are shorter ones, not the novels. I've still got the one story. I've got like 1.5 at least of the novels written. That one I'm not gonna touch for a while. I'm gonna do these 2 shorter stories. I got that other novel, different novel I'm gonna work on. I need to put my short stories into a collection. But it's tricky to do when my time is with toddlers.
Yeah. You can't just turn them loose. They'll let the blood out too easy.
Yeah, they don't have as they need to develop more of their self-preservation.
Yeah.
They're funny though. They sure are cute. They've been enjoying the horses. We've done some pony rides with them. Let's see other stories.
I mean, that's all I got. Get hurt or get drunk.
Let me think of some other funny stories. I've revised the first story in a series I'm working on so many times it became what it was in the first place with refinement. Sometimes you gotta like set something down and come back later. I don't know. I need to have my friend Jaji on talk about writing.
Yeah. I guess I wrote some in high school.
I think
obnoxious stuff.
Obnoxious stuff.
Oh yeah.
What kind of stuff?
Stuff better not talked about on here.
I think a lot of my creative side comes from you. No, are you able to explain the cows with thumbs moment?
I don't know, maybe.
I can't quite remember it.
Me and Rocky, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, me and Rocky were working in the chicken house. And, I worked during the day and then trying to keep the houses up and running and stuff at night. So, and it was a full-time job, like 10 to 12 hours, like on machines and stuff. And then
This was towards the beginning of the farm.
Yeah, this is towards the beginning. Well, he's old enough to help. So we were, I guess, 2 or 3 years into it, and we had a feed motor go bad, and we were placing a feed motor in the ceiling where the feed comes in, and so there were no chickens yet, and we were still setting up, but we were replacing this. It had hung up or whatever it was, so we were both in there on the ladders and working on stuff, and it was late. I was so tired, and I looked down and something looked kind of funny, and there was nothing down there because sometimes it can be real dim in the houses because they're so big. And he asked me, he said, "What?" I go, "I just thought I've seen a cow back there in the back," because they've gotten into the houses before when the door was left open. They'll just kind of wander in. And he goes, "There's no cows in here." And then I forget exactly what it was. I said, I thought there was a cow, walking up. He goes, "How would a cow get in here?" And I go, he says, "They can't open the door." And it's like, "Oh, we have thumbs." It was one of those ridiculous things when you're just so tired, everything's funny. Even now it's kind of funny because we were both tired and it was late trying to get everything fixed. And, a cow walking up like Far Side style, just holding their hooves and moving their hooves and going, "We have thumbs." It was a bit ridiculous.
Yeah. I think you have a storytelling side or imaginative side.
Yeah.
There's not a single thought that passes through my brain.
Head empty?
Yeah.
No thoughts, head empty.
Do the special.
The special.
You're autistic.
No, like from the Lego movie, the special.
Oh, Han. No, I was thinking of Han.
Han?
Han.
Oh,
I
K-pop.
want to find the video. It's hilarious.
Where the special has no original thought at all within his mind.
We're trying to track him down, but he's so generic, we can't find him. Lego movie's so good.
I got the most basic build ever.
Let's see, any other stories? You used to do any stories from when you were bike riding? Doing like the road biking a lot?
Let me think. I mean, this one's where I'm just completely wore out. There's one time we were riding and we're at a rural area, and it's always dogs will come out and chase you. And where we live, even out in the county, dogs are supposed to be contained, whether it's inside your fence, with a electric fence, a physical fence, or on a leash. Dogs are supposed to be on your property. They cannot free roam. And you ride in rural areas just to stay away from traffic. And there was one older woman, gosh, she had to be in her early 60s. And so she's not real fast on a bike, because if you're young on the bike, you can outrun the dogs. You can go fast enough to outrun the dogs. She wasn't fast enough. She was a small woman, and she took to carrying a pellet gun in her jersey, and so I didn't know. And we're riding, and the dog comes out chasing, and next thing I know, she just like reaches behind her, like unholsters this, pellet pistol, and she's holding on with one hand, and she's looking back and just peppering this dog with pellets from this thing. I almost wrecked from laughing so hard. I was half shocked, like, what the hell is going on? And she was giving the dog what for with these pellets.
Is she the one that was like, put on your big girl panties to...
Oh, yeah. We went riding one time, and it was...
I didn't realize she was that old.
Yeah. She wasn't... she was in her late 50s, early 60s. And
I guess back then you would have been more in your late 40s?
Early 40s.
Early 40s? Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't realize how old you were.
Yeah, I'm pretty old.
Not too old.
That doesn't cross my mind. You're just ageless to me, because all my life you just look the exact same. Except for when you shave off your beard.
Yeah.
That's like
Then you're a bald
For the
bunny.
longest time, I didn't realize that you cut your hair.
That what?
I didn't realize you cut your hair. I didn't know it grew.
You thought it just stayed the same always?
Yeah, up until like 6 months ago.
Really?
Yeah, when you told me. It's like, oh, I'm gonna go cut my hair. I was like, you cut your hair?
It doesn't just stay that way.
I thought it did.
It'd be nice if it did. I wouldn't have to cut it.
You think he's
That's why
just...
it changed length. I never realized it.
You would see it change length, but you didn't realize it would grow and he'd cut it?
No, I didn't realize that it changed length, but I knew it changed length.
You just didn't register it?
Exactly.
Well, that derailed the train of thought.
Yeah,
A big girl panties.
That's my
Yeah,
job.
we went, me and Vinny would ride a lot together. And we met her and another guy from the bike club, out near her house at we just met at a parking lot. And it was Valentine's Day. I remember this because she told us the story of her husband had to be called out of town for, the company he worked for, supplies, I forget what it was, to different buildings, I don't know if it's cabinetry or carpets or whatever it was. And there was a problem with some that they had just shipped out. And she said, we were getting all suited up to ride. So it was Valentine's Day, and it was on the weekend. And so it was cold. God, it's cold and rainy is what it was. And she says, well, he's not going to be here because he's off at this place. And she says, he brought me, flowers and chocolates the day before. And I was like, oh, you're getting a little started early on Valentine's Day. And he goes, well, I'm not going to be here. I got to be away. She goes, what? He says, there's a problem with whatever project they were doing. He had to go, deal with it. She goes, okay, where's it at? And it happened to be at one of the offices of the Playboy magazine company. So that was pretty funny. And but so we were complaining to her, and we're all young, well, I was young and the other guy was a little younger than me. And then of course Vinny's, just a teen.
Yeah.
And I was in the mid to low 40s, and it was kind of drizzly, rainy, and it was like, this would be miserable to ride. So we were kind of complaining and stuff. And she goes, you guys just need to put on your big boy panties and just ride if you can keep up. So you got a little tiny, old woman, late 50s, early 60s, calling you out on that. So yeah, we ended up, I don't know, we done 35 or 40 miles that day in the cold rain.
Talking about having yeah, there's Rocky probably coming up from honors.
Yeah.
Vinny, for his 16th birthday, I don't think anyone was under the age of 30 because with the bike club they all met up to go do a mountain bike.
Yeah, we done a mountain bike ride for his birthday.
It's Rocky.
Hello.
I'm trying to get Dad to tell his drunken stories.
Yeah,
We only had a few.
live, and I was catching up a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Can you think of any funny stories Dad's told?
Off the top of my head.
Anyways, do you have any funny stories?
In general, I do have an entertaining drinking story.
Oh, really?
Because I did get busted for underage drinking
Oh,
when I
gosh.
was in college.
You're gonna.
Oh yeah!
There are some things you don't have to share on stream.
Yeah, but this one's funny. It involves me stripping in a room full of guys and Mein Kampf.
What?
Okay, so off to college, first semester down there, in a dorm, blah blah. And then one of the guys, he was drinking a lot, and he'd had access to beer. I mean, I had one once in a while. Then there was like a bunch of people over. I mean, not huge numbers, maybe either side of 10, which is a lot for the dorm room size.
Yeah.
And there's just whatever Budweiser beer, and then they've got what's that generic whiskey? Jack Daniels.
Yeah.
Had 2, maybe 3 shots of whiskey. Had a couple of beers. It's pretty good. Good buzz going, having fun, and then I think I'm in my room. There's a couple of other guys. Everybody's just hanging out, talking, or what have you. And then someone's like, "Oh, it's the cops," or whatever people. And I'm just like, some people manage to bail out of a window. We're on the first floor, so it's no big deal. I'm just like, well, okay. I strip down to my undies, just get in bed and go to sleep. One of the guys, I've seen him a couple times before, just like, oh, I'm trying to look busy or something. It's just like, give me something to read. So we're all drunk and retarded. So, and then I'd been reading Mein Kampf there because I was curious, and the library had it. People talked about it a bit. I'm just like, okay, I read the first part. Anyways, that was the book at hand. So I just hand it to him as I'm going to bed.
I don't think my model can show my face right now.
Wait, what's my name?
Hitler's book.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Guys, I'm gonna have to delete this VOD if Twitter ever finds it. Anyway.
So he has an interesting look on his face. I mean, I just get under the covers and lie down. I do not get picked out in that first wave of guys. So my plan initially works.
Initially.
Yeah. So so that's most of them out, get police talk to them or what have you. One of my roommates come back, we talked a little bit, just like, oh, blah, 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 blah. And then just like, oh, wow. And then I actually go back to bed, trying to go to sleep. And then the, policeman and one of the people in charge of the dorm comes by. Where's the guy in the dorm, in charge of the dorm, pokes his head in, just like, hey, were you involved with all of that? And I'm still at least half drunk. And then gears turn in my head, and then I see a cop poke his head around the corner. I'm like, I think I literally say, I'm not going to lie to a uniform. Yeah, I was.
Do you think you would have gotten away with it if you had lied?
Oh, fuck no.
They would have breathalyzed you?
I don't know if any of us actually got breathalyzed.
But do you think they wouldn't have believed you?
Probably not.
Oh, no.
So then, yeah, they let me put clothes on, obviously. Go down, talk to the cops or what have you, just like, yeah, this, that, and the other. How much did you drink? Or, you go to bed or something? Yeah, I went to bed. Or, how much did you drink? Like, I don't know, 2, 3 shots of whiskey, a couple of beers. They're like, oh yeah, that makes sense, you went to bed. Yeah, and then have to deal with all the fallout thereof. It was stupid.
Don't drink underage, kids.
Yeah, especially don't get caught.
Dad never got caught.
He was in Germany, that's easy mode.
As long as you look German, you can speak a little bit.
Anyways, that is my drinking story.
Well, I don't have any drinking stories because I've never gotten drunk.
Yeah.
Well, because you
Getting
know
a buzz
you want to
on
know
is
why? You want to
entertaining.
know why? Oh well, I had about what was it? Let me count real quick. I think 4 or 5 months where I could legally drink
And weren't pregnant.
before I got pregnant the first time. I had
And
5
you
months.
just now winged the one.
Well, I mean, you can still. That's
I mean-
not too much of an issue. You can drink and breastfeed.
Okay. I wasn't sure. I don't exactly have experience in that.
You
realm.
can't. You shouldn't get drunk and then feed the baby. Mostly because you might drop the baby. There's. I mean, debates are
I
talking.
think I see a fawn in the woods.
There's a lot of deer around here.
Yeah.
Because it moves. Once the alcohol's out of your blood, it's not in the milk.
Yeah.
So anyway, whatever details of that, but I mean, you can have a drink, maybe feed the baby, and then you got a little bit of time, have a drink, whatever. If you,
tipsy.
I have gotten tipsy, but I've never gotten drunk. I did have.
Funny tipsy.
You've seen me tipsy one time in Seoul.
Yeah.
We went and got chicken.
I got pictures. They're all blurry because you were taking them. You were like laughing.
You're making it sound bad. I was just
holding
kind of.
onto my arm as we were walking.
Yeah, we linked arms and just kind of walked, had a fun little, little stride, took some pictures, some little selfies, and then I had you order the taxi.
Yeah, I ordered the taxi.
Well, yeah, because you had the app on your phone,
Yeah.
and you took the taxi by yourself before, so order the taxi, run around Seoul. No, I've only ever gotten tipsy. I have no interest in getting drunk. Because, well, the other thing, who is that? Rocky? If it starts stinking in here, stream's over.
Well, it's a good thing I took my time getting home.
Is that why your window on your car is always down when it's in the garage? To air it out?
No. But that is kind of fun.
For some reason, I know one time when my uncle, your brother, the uncle on your side, so your brother, was visiting. Yeah. And I don't know why I was particularly stinky.
Contribute to the
Oh yeah, this one?
No.
The same name.
No, that's a whole different story. That's a whole different story. We won't mention that. No, I had like some particularly stinky weeks of farts or something. And my uncle gave me the nickname Stinky Drawers because I remember sitting in his truck and I would let some out. But I thought drawers like on like a dresser. It was only years later that I realized drawers meant like, pants.
underwear.
Yeah. Stinky drawers. So I just imagine like pulling out a dresser. The drawer on the dresser. I was like, yeah, I'm Stinky Drawers. I was proud of it. It's probably like 8.
Yeah, it sounds like something to be proud of.
Yeah, I was just
4 brothers, it does something.
Oh yeah.
I was just looking at chat. I don't know when this comment was, but somebody asked forklift certified. I am, in fact, forklift certified.
Oh, you're so forklift certified.
I
That
am.
makes you a cool guy.
Yeah.
Dad's
I am.
expired.
Yeah, mine expired.
Why do I think your warranties are about to expire? What if I got an extended warranty? Warranties are invalid unless you use the product for its intended purpose.
Girls,
You're both pretty. Can I go home now? Megamind. Such a good movie. Alright, let's see. Should we wrap up?
Sure.
Trying to think of anything else.
I'm hungry.
Go home and get your mother to feed you.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of, she's pulling up. Kiddo wanted to see me.
Ah,
I wonder if maybe I'll let him say
graham
hi.
crackers here now.
Yeah, graham cracker. I'll let him say hello, and then I'll immediately end stream before he can say anyone's name. Because just knowing him, he'll come on and say, I'm full name. He likes to do that sometimes. That's my
Who's
van.
I'm talking to.
I don't know. She's a popular lady. She's a busy girl. Got lots of people to talk to, coordinate things.
Yeah. Good.
Let's
I
see.
don't talk to anyone except my sleep hours. Oh no!
Girl sleep turtles is the
Huh? No.
That's the name she gave her friend.
Yeah, because she keeps me up at night.
Okay, that's kind of fun.
Wait, talk. All right, let me see if there's any raids. Hang on.
It was fun to drop in and
Tell of your mistakes in college.
Story.
I know Mom wasn't happy about that.
Oh yeah, I was little, but I remember she was mad
Yeah.
About what?
about him losing anything.
Getting caught in college.
Well, yeah. She had to drive down there and clean up the mess.
Yeah.
And also you're getting, gosh, both of the boys. and Melissa crashed.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, both of them.
Well, I think she was a bit more angry because he got in the ambulance.
I think about
And-
that a lot.
Instead of just, taking himself to be checked out, he got in the ambulance. I'm like, she was so pissed. She tore him up. She goes, "Why did you get in the ambulance? You could have took it yourself or called a friend to come
He
get you."
had a broken collarbone, right?
He still drive? Did he have a manual?
Did he have a car or just his motorcycle?
Just a motorcycle.
He
And
packed
he
on
was
the motorcycle.
wrecked. Oh yeah, she busted his ass so bad about getting in the ambulance. Like, come on, give the kid a break.
Good
You got
old
the highway
America.
patrol saying you gotta go get checked out, and the ambulance is there. So it's kind of like, oh, okay.
Why'd you get in the ambulance?
Yeah, she busted his ass so bad.
Oh. All right, let's see. Who should I raid? Should I raid? I should probably raid Raimi. Raimi Ricotta. We'll raid her.
Ricotta cheese!
Exactly, because it's flavor. I think she's probably doing a stream for raising funds for recovery of the places affected by the hurricanes. Milliardo was talking to someone. We might make a Minna patch to raise funds for hurricane recovery.
Is that like a nicotine patch?
No, like a patch. Like, There's Kiddo.
He's coming.
He's a comment. I'll let him say hello for a second, and then I'll end the stream. I'll have it prepped.
Graham Cracker and the kiddos are here.
There they are.
Oh, he's running away.
I'll mute. Oh, where is he going? He's going down to the garage. I'm up here. I'm gonna mute 1 second. Oh, Mom's listening to my stream. He went down to the garage.
Is it muted?
Not yet. And then he ran back down. There he is.
He's getting lost, trying to find out what part of the house to go to.
Yeah, well, he's used to going downstairs. There they are. Pull. Hi.
What are you doing?
I'm streaming.
I want to go to
everyone's here
Kroger
now.
with her. I'm gonna go to Kroger with you.
Oh, okay. All right, say bye.
Bye.
All right, bye, guys.
Bye, guys.
And I wasn't just mad at him for taking the ambulance, I was mad at him because he didn't do nothing but a slow little stop. And he let them CAT scan, MRI, thousands of dollars of everything.
Oh, yeah,
for
that medical
no
bill.
reason.
That laugh's a little diabolical. All right, ending now to the ending. What's my catchphrase? Stay fresh, my friends. Bye.
Bye.